Hey there, ladies and gents. Welcome back to Griever Productions. We're here once again with Ren. Now, I wanted to go through his three-part series called Money Game, right? So if you're watching this on Patreon, all three will be here back-to-back. On YouTube, the videos will be released one after the other. But I'm really keen to have a look at this because a lot of people have been recommending to do so for a while, and I absolutely adore what Ren kind of does. And what I am excited to see is that a lot of people have been saying that this particular trilogy, essentially, is a really great social commentary on things that he observes, right? And that excites me because he's incredibly eloquent in the way that he words things. And to be completely honest, I eat it up. He explains things in such a way that really rings true with people, and it really creates that. Not only is he just stating fact to you, he's not doing it in a way that seems condescending. It gets your brain moving, and it gets your brain working in such a way that you kind of make the decision for yourself in a way. So I'm really excited to have a listen and see where all of this goes. So before we do begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help. And without any further ado, let's go into Ren Money Game Part 1.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie, theory, strife, fearing, weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships. Nearly blinded by illusions to choose, but who's fooling who? A ball chained to your shoes.
Okay, straight off the bat, so what I'm actually going to do, I am going to put the subtitles on for this. I know I've been recommended not to do that because in a lot of cases with Ren's videos, they don't quite keep up. Which I understand, but it does help to understand what he is saying. This has been so far very interesting. I love, and I mentioned this once before, that when he does these sorts of pieces, right, when he does these sorts of... I don't want to just pigeonhole them as social commentary songs, right? I don't want to do that because that's not accurate with what he does. But when he does this, it's like you've got him, right, obviously saying the words, but then you've got the guitar that is its own character as well, that expresses itself in such a unique way. And that's something that I really enjoy as well, is that there is as much character in that guitar work, in that music that he has chosen to accompany him, as there is with the actual lyric that he is singing. I love it.
Blinded by illusions to choose, but who's fooling who? A ball chained to your shoes, I'm pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns.
Never mind. I'm gonna turn off those captions because they're wrong.
But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 a storm it comes our way.
Okay, all right. Hold on to that singing, dude, because God, I love his singing voice. So interesting point of note here, because from what I understand is that the way that money that we know of it, right, that we know, came about as a... Sorry, I had to put a cut in there. My mic was doing weird things, but it wasn't... It won't show in the audio. Hard to explain, right? But the thing that I understand is that the way that money as we know it came around as like notes, right, is that basically people would trade in gold, and the banks would hold on to the gold, and they would essentially be giving you an IOU of this is how much you have of gold in here, and then basically you started trading in the cash itself, which worked as an IOU of gold. I could be wrong in saying that, but that's how I learned it, and I'm not sure where I've learned it that way. So it is interesting. The way that money works, right, is such a strange thing. Anyway, let's continue with this.
And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we like to point the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the
Hang on, sorry.
mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
I see. Here's the thing, right? It's incredible hearing his voice, right? Because originally, obviously, I'd only heard him do the rap style stuff, right? Or the spoken word stuff that he does, right? But then we heard his Back on 74, which I maintain is one of the biggest surprises I've looked at on this channel. Definitely in the top 5 things that I've reacted to on this channel, right? But he knows, he's got such a keen mind for music that he knows exactly when to stop. Like, he knows when to be speaking those words, he knows when to be singing those words, and he knows when to stop. When it's the most impactful point, just to put a stop. Not many people do that. He does it perfectly.
President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say badly through gritted teeth, that's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech. Whoa. But when did freedom become a reason to hate, a way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder that savages colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was inflamed.
That's so interesting, because it's so true. Basically, I'm just going to repeat what he said here, but basically, freedom is such an interesting word, and it's such an interesting thing right the world around, right? Because we talk about freedom, we talk about freedoms of speech, we talk about, the land of the free, America being the land of the free, Australia being a free country, England being a free country, right? All to do with freedom. However, when it comes to the creation of those countries, the reason that Australia was created was it was literally where the convicts from England came. England decided, no, we know that there are already people on that island, but we're going to go and inhabit it anyway. We're going to put all of our prisoners there. All right, fair enough. Removing the freedoms of the indigenous people here, right? And England, as far as I'm aware, were invaded by the Saxons, right? The Saxons became the English, and the Saxons were German, right? I could be wrong. I could be getting that wrong. But because I'm pretty sure that's how that worked. But then the Saxons were... Did the Romans become Saxons? I don't remember. But basically, Rome is known for mass expansion. Ancient Greece is known for mass expansion. That's an incredibly powerful line.
You demonstrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant. Cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome. And also colonized by the Saxons.
I had it the wrong way, but he's saying exactly... Oh, my God.
They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat. The same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions are our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
Okay. Wow. He put it far more eloquently than what I did. As I was saying at the start of this video, the guy is incredibly eloquent. But that's history. That's it. It's a brilliant point.
This old money game.
Powerful. Is he mic'd under that? He is mic'd under that. I was wondering how this was filmed, right? Because I wasn't sure if this was studio recorded or if this is being done here. It seems like this is being done, like, kind of live, right? I'm not wrong in saying that? Because if so, that's just brilliant. Okay, I may not be able to show that on camera. Okay, I may not be able to show that last part on camera, I'm not sure. I will probably censor it just in case. I mean, to be completely honest, I really hope that wasn't actually fuel. I used to work at a petrol station, and I know how bad that can be for a person. So I hope that wasn't real. It did look real though, so I just hope it wasn't. But good lord, that's so powerful. I'm shocked that he was coming around to the same point that my brain went to when it came to, like, immigrants. Like, that's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. He, again, made it far more eloquent and was able to explain it far better than I, but that's the kind of person that Ren is as a musician. Wow. That's crazy. That's insane. All right. So for those on YouTube, please do stay tuned. The part 2 of this will be coming tomorrow. On Patreon, you'll see it right now. So like a favorite, enjoyed, subscribe, do all that sort of thing. I will see you next time. Bye for now.